the process remains the same. We would go ahead and take the 133.75. Let's go ahead and move that right over here. So we would take the 133.75 and we would multiply that by 27. And again, just because we're dealing with larger numbers doesn't mean we're in any more of a precarious situation. We're just fine here. We're just fine. And it really is a matter of how much practice you've gotten. Does that make sense, everybody? Before I begin calculating, you should really take time to practice your fundamentals. And if you're in the program, which everybody here is, the math basics is exactly where you want to start. So here we go. 5 multiplied by 7, that gives us 35. Carry the 3. Then 7 multiplied by 7 is 49. And then that's going to be plus 3, so 52. So if you don't believe it, we're actually already done. We're actually already done. My party people, quick question. Once we're done with this row here, what is it that we're going to be putting in this first spot? What number do we put in this first spot when we go to the next line? Yeah, we're going to put a 0. So because of that, again, we're going to say, yeah, we're still going to do all the math here. But when we add all of this together, what number is going to have to be right here in this first spot? What number? Yeah, that's right. That's going to be a 5. And since we have 2 decimals being moved, it's going to be 1, 2. So we're going to have a number, and then we're going to have 5 at the end. Which answer choice does that scream? Yeah, B. So you actually didn't even need to complete the entire multiplication. If you knew what you needed to do, you actually could have gotten this one done without even putting your pencil to paper. You could have said, hey, whoops, excuse me there. You could have said, hey, this desk costs this much. You need 27 of them. How much are we going to spend? Okay, great. That's multiplication. I know that if I want to find what the last digit is going to be, I multiply the last digits. 5 times 7, that's going to be 35. So 5 at the end. Great. Which number ends in a 5? Bam, right there. And we are done. We didn't need to spend all that time multiplying. I'm still going to show you how to do it. Don't worry. But my party people, do you see how if you have certain indicators like, okay, the last digits, they're not all the same, so I can try to use that to my advantage if the opportunity is there. Does that make sense? All right, so with that said, hey Sherm, so for this one class, my face won't be in frame just because I'm not doing the best today, and the blaring heat from these studio lights does affect me just a little bit. So let's go ahead here. Let's finish the multiplication. Let's show this up, and let's have a good time. So here we are. All right, so here we go. So we did the 5 times 7, giving us the 35, carry the 3. 7 times 7, 49, 52. Carry the 5. 3 times 7, that's 21. Carry the 5, that's 26. Then again, 3 times 7, that's 21. Carry the 2, that's going to be 23. Then we have 1 times 7, carry the 2 is 9. Then we go to the next line here, and now we're going to be dealing with the 2. So here we go. That's going to be 5 multiplied by 2, that'll be 10. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1 is 15. Then 3 times 2 is 6, carry the 1 is 7. Then we have 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 2 is 2. So from there, what we are going to do now is we're just going to finish things off by adding up these digits. 5, 2, 11. 3 plus 7 is 10, carry the 1 is 11. That's going to be 10 plus 6 is 16. And then 3. So there it is. And then we'll have two decimal places, excuse me, like we said right up here. So we'll bring those back. 1, 2. Right there is where we'll put that decimal place. And there we have it. We have $3,611.25. But again, we didn't need to go through all of that calculation because we knew that, hey, if we just go ahead and multiply those last digits, we'll know what the last digit is. So my party people, was that worth going through in terms of, again, just picking up on little patterns that you can apply later on? So let's keep it going here to our next practice question. We are looking at a binomial times a binomial. So 2 by 2, x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 1. So remember, everybody, because we are multiplying polynomials, we are following the same rule. Make sure that everything from one parentheses multiplies with everything from the other. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Here we go, starting off with x multiplied by x. That'll be x times x. Then up next, we'll do x multiplied by -1. So minus 1 times x. Then from there, we'll turn our attention over to the 4 because we finished multiplying this x by both of those terms. Now we'll turn our attention over to the 4 where it'll multiply with the x. So plus 4x. And then lastly, we have ourselves over here 4 times -1. So I'll just write it as plus 4 times -1. So here we go. One thing at a time, everybody. Here we go. Everybody, what is x multiplied by x going to give us? X times x yields x squared. That is correct. Then we have -1 times x, and that's going to be the same thing as just minus x. Because remember, everybody, if there's a 1 in front, we don't have to write it. We don't have to say minus 1 apple. We can just say minus an apple. Okay, so that's what we have there. And then we have the plus 4x still where it is. And then we have 4 times -1. Everybody, a positive times a negative gives us a negative, making this answer here negative or minus 4. So that's the first step. Now we have to finish this off by combining like terms. We have to combine like terms right there. So to get that done, we take a look at which terms have the same variables and the same exponents. So when we check this out, x squared does not have a like term. It does not. It is this x term here and this x term there. I'm going to highlight both of them together to help us really understand that because they have the same variables and the same exponents, a 1 on the top, which you can't see at the moment, these are the like terms. So to combine these, we can treat this as a -x plus 4x, which is the same thing as writing 4x minus x. Again, you can swap them out. 1 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 1. Just make sure to bring the sign with you. So now that we have that, everybody, we're essentially saying we have 4 of these x's and we'll take away one of those x's. How many x's do we have left? Correct. That's going to be 3 of those x's. And so we'll write that down right over here as x squared plus 3x. That's a positive because a positive 4 minus 1 is a positive 3. And then minus 4. And there's our answer. Our answer is x squared plus 3x minus 4. Again, that is correct because we treat this as a minus 1x. Just like we had it before, we just chose not to write the 1 because, again, the 1 is inherently there if not written. So with that, the correct final answer here, my friends, is answer choice D. X squared plus 3x minus 4. So remember, everybody, practice. It makes you better. Proper practice gets you where you want to be. So let's continue to practice the right way, trying it with that same patience and grace.